All right, y'all, back to work. Boy, fantastic job today. That pre-market breakout pullback this morning, that beautiful add-on at 10 o'clock Eastern time. It sounds like a lot of guys made some really good money today. So well done on that. Let's keep the good times going to Wednesday morning. Now, speaking of Wednesday, we have this huge move higher today. I'll bet everyone's trying to buy a pullback for tomorrow. Now, pullbacks, they sound easy, but we all know picking the perfect pullback, timing the perfect pullback isn't always easy, but I see two clues tonight that'll help us help us pick that perfect pullback tomorrow morning and make some more money on Wednesday morning. So we'll cover the entire roadmap in tonight's video, entries, exits, some variations in case things get crazy tomorrow. We'll cover the entire thing tonight in this video. So charts are ready. Enough of the intro. Let's keep the good times rolling, make some more moolah on Wednesday morning. Charts look fantastic right now. S&P SPY ready to go tonight. Nasdaq triple Qs are always ready. I've got four very simple but important clues that are telling us where I think the money is made tomorrow. The first of four clues is this higher time frame. We're bullish overall on the S&P SPY, bullish overall Nasdaq triple Qs. I like to use the hourly chart as a directional filter. We now know right now the buyers are in full control of the overall momentum. That's the first clue for tomorrow. Second clue's over on the calendar for tomorrow. We get more big news coming tomorrow morning. It's not that ADP number at 8:15. I don't care about that. It's the services number at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Anytime we have major news at 10 o'clock Eastern time, you best be paying attention. That ISM services is definitely on my radar for tomorrow. And of course, we keep waiting for more updates out of the White House regarding trade right now. That is something ongoing every morning in our trade room. So 10 o'clock ISM services. Will we get a trade deal coming together here soon from maybe India? We're supposed to get some trade deals in the hopper right now. Looking for some good updates out of the White House for tomorrow. Let's get back to our charts though, because the money is made on the charts. I mentioned four clues overall. One clue was the bullish bias right now on the hourly. The third and fourth clues are now over on our tick charts. Now, tick charts, guys, they make entry timing so much easier. And by the way, if you're watching for the first time right now, all the time frames are in the upper left-hand corner. That is a 7,000 tick chart. And in case you're wondering, that moving average right there is the only indicator we need to make money. That is the 21 EMA. There are two really big clues here on the tick charts right now. First clue is that range right there. Now, why is that range important? Because ranges, they act like magnets and they love to rotate up, down, up, down. We use things like symmetry. We call them pendulum swings. The amount above, the amount below, the amount below, the amount above. We like to use triangles, expanding triangles, or megaphones. This range is a bullish range, an overall bull market, which means there's a lot of potential now. We may break out going higher. Got a couple ways to make money on a breakout going higher. That's a third clue for tomorrow. What might be the most important clue though is this range down here, that previous range. Now, if you watched last night's video, you know, what do previous ranges do? They love to break out and they love to break out pullback. So if we understand there's a range down below us right now, it's kind of actually two small ranges on top of each other right there. We'll call it one big range right there. We know that as they break out now, we know that breakout pullback. So it's definitely going to be an area where we can look for. In fact, I have three different entry techniques we'll use to time the perfect pullback down in that breakout pullback zone. Now, I do want to talk about if we go higher here, because we got some recent highs up overhead. There's one big clue, this one thing I'm looking for if we go higher that will kind of unlock two different types of trades as we go higher here. We'll talk about that one thing and we'll talk about those two different types of entry tactics. We're going to cover that a bit later on in tonight's video. But let's talk about that pullback, right? That perfect pullback right now. I mentioned earlier that range below us is just begging for being bought up on a pullback. Let's talk three different variations because I never know what I'm going to get each day, but we're going to get one of these three entry tactics here for tomorrow. You know, for example, my favorite entry is I love to see us pull back nice and sharp, right? Nice and sharp, almost scary. how sharp it is. And then I would love to use what is basically a bear trap. Wait for price to pull back, let the bears chase this thing lower. Again, the goal would be a nice strong run down, and that will fool a lot of the rookies into thinking this is a reversal. We're bullish overall. We know that range above us is a magnet. There's a very small chance that's a reversal. But once those bears try twice, now I got you, right? Now I know where your stops are. Now I know where your pain is. And now I can buy right into those stop losses and run where? Not just back to retest the high, but remember that pendulum now wants to swing all the way back above that trading range. Now remember, we don't just buy the pullback. If we start seeing separation off that 21 EMA, remember, guys, you can make a lot more money in trading by adding to your winners. This is the add-on trade we look for in our trade room. We saw a beautiful one back this morning at 10 o'clock Eastern time. In our trade room, we call these bear traps and add-ons. Bear traps and add-ons, right? So let the market run lower, trap them in, bear trap, and then add on, just as we saw this morning around 10 o'clock Eastern time. Now, some variations of this. We may go lower. We may not get that bear trap back up again. Every once in a while, there's so many buyers down here, it just whoop and runs right back up again. If we see a V bottom off that low, this is very important. The second variation on picking that perfect pullback right now, if we run lower, and keep in mind, I would not be upset if we go all the way back below that, what is that, 59.38 or so. The deeper the better, guys, right? The deeper the better, right? It should be at least, though, that 55 halfle. But if I don't get that bear trap down there, if it V bottom is going to bounce off that low, it'll oftentimes begin grinding higher. This is very important. I don't want to buy high. I want to buy low. And so in these situations, we now start looking for entries underneath this low. If you've taken my free video course yet, these are basically technical bear traps. It's a higher high in price, and it's right below that low. Now, if we're lucky, there'll be a trend line off the high. There'll be a channel right here. You know, like I always say, there's not many things guaranteed in trading, but this is almost a guaranteed winner in this environment. That range above us is the magnet. We slam lower. Again, scarier the better. We don't get the bear trap down. We chop up. We kind of grind up. And we find that first test, right? That first touch off low that channel, right below that low, strong green candle, closing back above that moving average, just like I teach in our free video course. Now, that is 2 out of 3 variations to time that perfect pullback. I do want to talk about going higher here because, again, this one clue going higher that will unlock everything for us. We'll talk about that a bit in a few minutes here over on the Nasdaq. Before we go further, though, let's slow down for a second because I know most guys watching right now, you guys know these patterns already. You're making money with these already. I get a ton of great emails this morning. You guys making bank on the breakout pullback and the add-on. So I know most of you guys know this stuff already. But if you're watching for the first time right now, this might be a brand new language I'm talking, a brand new strategy you want to learn more about. Don't you worry. I teach this entire system in my free trading course. In fact, I have a ton of examples. Bear traps, add-ons, V-bottom trades, stacked range. These are actually very common, stacked range trades. The markets are way too good right now not to be making daily profits. So I want to help you guys out here. I'll put a link up top here for you, upper right-hand corner. Hit that link that popped up there. Take that free trading course because the strategy I teach in that short video course will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room that literally tells us exactly where the winning trades are going to be each day. You will laugh when you see how simple that technique is. More importantly, though, I want to help you guys time better entries. I'll teach you 4 my favorite entry setups. If you're still missing the best entries right now, if you've lost your confidence in your current strategy, what are you waiting for right now? Pause the video, hit that link upper right-hand corner, watch that free video course. You're going to love all the trade examples I include in that short video series. Best part is it's completely free for you. Also keep in mind too, guys, I'm going to put all the important links you'll need to learn the strategy, time better entries, get your confidence back. I'll put everything down below the video tonight, description of the video. Start first on the free video course. Most folks start making money all on their own, all from that free video class. So start there first, get your mindset right, your charts right, get your P&L back in the green again, and keep in mind too, I post a ton of charts and videos and mindset stuff and updates on Twitter or X during the day from the X platform. I'll put my handle down there for you. Again, all the details you'll need to learn more, hopefully earn a lot more. I'll put below the video tonight, description of this YouTube video. All right, so now you know where to go if you're new here right now. And again, as we're going higher here, I want to talk about one big clue here as we go higher here right now. But first things first though, keep in mind, we oftentimes do see that strong shot down. We do oftentimes see that bear trap off that low. We get a nice easy winner going higher. But remember, ranges, they love to break out pullback. And every once in a while, now what I do is on trades like these, I'll take a 1-to-1 first target, move that stop up to point of entry. Whenever there is a range above me, I like to use that range for a profit target, right? So first target off at a 1-to-1. We talk about this a lot in the free video course. Second profit target comes off at the underbelly of that range. And third target, where does it go? All the way to that pendulum swing, right? This is why ranges are so great, because like here, right? They go below the range, above the range, right? That becomes a final target for us on that run going higher. But every once in a while though, what happens is we don't keep going higher here and we make one more leg running lower. Okay, this will feel like a reversal, but we call these retest trades in our trade room. So again, we'll run down, we'll get that beautiful bear trap down there, we'll make a nice easy profit on that run going up, but now they hold the underbelly of that range and we run going lower. Now here's the way this works. We know breakout legs love to make measured moves. So size that breakout leg, I can measure that and project that down to find a measured move, A, B, C, D, okay? Know that part about it. Basically now, anywhere between that low, right, that low and that measured move, right, makes sense? It makes a zone down there, okay? That is the bear trap zone right there. This will feel like a reversal. So I love these trades, by the way, the retest trades, right? They come back and retest that low. As it runs lower, you're going to see a ton of rookies now chase after this because it's going to feel very bearish, but it's not a reversal. Remember the hourly time frame. We're overall bullish right now, right? So don't fall for that trick. Wait for those bears to come in. Let all the other inexperienced traders who haven't found my videos yet, let them get trapped in and stop those suckers out. One try, two try, bear trap. And again, I'm telling you right now, the easiest way to completely transform your trading is and grow your account like a weed is to look for add-ons. Add-ons, now of course add-ons, they require you to know the market situation, right? To know that range is a magnet. Come join us every morning in our trade room and I'll give you the confidence to do this. Remember, it's always about that separation. We talked about this last night on the video, right? The pullback will separate off that moving average. It'll be a higher high in price. When you combine these together, that is where the magic happens right there. All right. And again, it's a bear trap add-on, but the add-on, it's so important, right? The add-on is it's separation off the moving average, right? It's a higher high in price. The separation tells us now if we get below that low, nice strong green candle back above that 21 EMA, that is a gorgeous add-on. And the goal is back to retest these highs and again, leave that runner for that pendulum swing going higher here. Perfect. I love the way this all comes together. 3 different techniques to time. Because again, I don't have a crystal ball for tomorrow. I don't know what exactly we're going to get, but I know we're going to get at least one of those 3 scenarios. Now we're all ready. Now, I can see right now the market's trying to go higher here right now. Remember though, it's a range up here. We got recent highs overhead. So do not be surprised if we run up and get crushed right back down again. Now, how does that work now? Remember, the amount above, the amount below. Remember? Okay, right? So don't fall for that trap up there. We'll talk about this in a second here on the Nasdaq, because I will make it very easy. You'll know right away whether or not you can trust that breakout. We'll talk about that in a moment. But just be prepared for this, though. We got major recent highs up there, 6,008. We'll see it again in the Nasdaq in a moment. But be very careful about that fake out breakout overhead because of that recent high up there. Once again, this reversal will feel very bearish. You know, we always say in our trade room, the scary entries, the scarier ones are always the best winners because they trap people, they fool people into thinking this is a reversal. This is not a reversal. It's a range rotation, right? Makes sense? So as it rolls lower here, you know better, right? You know better. That voice in your head is going to say, are you sure you want to buy this? Remember, we're not going to pick a bottom on this. I'm not going to blindly buy this area. I'm going to wait for that pullback and see if I can't get bears trying once, bears trying twice. I get a beautiful symmetry off the high, breakout pullback zone. This is the worst possible place to be selling and the best possible place for a bear trap running back up other side of that trading range. Or what if they just pop up and start grinding, right? What if they pop up and start grinding up here? What do? We find that trend line, we find that channel. Again, one of those variations, we're going to get one of them, right? We'll get one of them. It just depends on which one we get tomorrow morning in the trade room. So just be aware of that kind of fake out breakout and then back down again. I'll tell you, this will be a fun trade tomorrow. If we get something like that, it should be a pretty easy winner tomorrow morning in our trade room. Okay, now, I've been mentioning for a while now, this one clue up there, one clue that will tell us two different trades going higher here. Let's talk about that now here over on the Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq, of course, see here, same thing. Nasdaq has some recent highs up overhead as well. Before we dive into the tick charts on the Nasdaq right now, if you're enjoying tonight's video, please help me grow this channel by hitting that like button and make sure you subscribe, please. I know we're all busy people these days. I appreciate you guys coming out, tuning in, and watching my videos. So thank you for all the likes, sharing these videos, subscribing to our channel, all the ongoing support. I feel the love in the comment section below. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, supporting the channel. Now, I promise I'm done begging for likes and subs. Let's now dive in and talk tick charts right now on the Nasdaq. Very easy to see the buyers have control right now. And again, don't get into the weeds too much on the hourly time frame, right? The hourly chart, all it's for is big levels, right? Major levels and direction. That's all it's for, right? Don't get too wrapped up in the channels, the ranges, stuff like that. Don't get into the weeds in the higher time frame. Just use it for direction and big overall levels. There's that major high overhead there on the Nasdaq, and just gorgeous chart. These charts, I'll tell you, if there is a heaven for a day trader, this is exactly what charts will look like, right? We got that range yesterday, that breakout pullback in the pre-market, that add-on for lunch today, beautiful run going higher. Again, another range. We call these stacked ranges, right? Stacked ranges. If you guys are with us in the trade room, you know we love these types of situations because, again, that range below us is a breakout pullback. And this range above us, this range wants to rotate, right? So that range wants to rotate. The previous range is a breakout pullback. This happens all the time, over and over again. Look back from today, right? It's the exact same situation I'm describing here right now. The amount below, the amount above helps me now to figure out where that final target will be going higher. Now, there's one thing going higher here we have to be aware of, and it's separation. Separation is the biggest clue now going higher. For example, we see a great example right now, separate right here, right? That is separation. When I say separation, remember, a lot of times trends, right? Most trends, they go like this. They pull up, they pull back, they pull up, they pull back, they pull up, they pull back. We don't get that separation off that moving average. Okay, a strong trend we see right here is it's not going to pull back all the way to the moving average, right? That is what separation means. Separation equals strength. So there's two scenarios right now. Do we lazily run higher? Do we not get any separation going higher? Or do we really get another strong breakout, a breakout going higher? And do we see some separation off of that moving average, right? That's the one variable right now. I'm waiting to see what happens going forward. For example, I mentioned earlier that this range, because we're bullish overall, that range right now has more potential to break out. And when it breaks out, it could pull back, and we can use that for a breakout pullback. But how do you know? How do you know when a breakout pullback can be useful? Well, it's all based on that separation. So we pop up here now and we start grinding now away from that moving average. Separation, right? We get a good distance now above that range and lots of separation. This may go into range up here. Be ready for it. It may go sideways into a new range up here. It won't matter. All that matters is if I get that separation, now I want to get that pull back. I want to bring that 21 EMA lower. I'm going to trap those bears in once, twice, and we're always a higher high, right? Always a higher high because sellers want to sell high. So trap them in once, trap them in twice, use those stops to fuel that move back up to retest that high. And again, if you learn one thing from these videos, it's add to that winner before we get back to retest the high. Sometimes we don't get it, but our goal is to add more to that winner before we go back up and take out that high, right? So one way to do this is, one would be a breakout pullback. Again, we need to get some good separation off that moving average and really give us a convincing break going higher. Then a breakout pullback is very much on our radar. But what if we don't though? What if we start grinding now and going higher? What if this thing runs out of gas? Again, we're right up around big highs up there. What if we get stuck around that moving average right now? Well, what's the problem? The problem now is I don't want to buy high. I want to buy low. And if you're a student of mine, or if you've gone to my video classes yet, my free video course yet, you know that anytime we're way high up, we look for ways to buy underneath prior swings. So if we start grinding, maybe we start going sideways here or something like that, like a slow, lazy grind going higher here. Now, although I do love the idea of that breakout pullback, I mean, come on, who wouldn't love that pullback right now? That'd be great, right? Bear trap back up again. But the odds are not as good in that situation. If we start grinding higher right now, what is more likely now is, again, no separation. What's more likely now is that low right there, all the buyers now are going to basically bump up their orders from that breakout pullback to right below that low. All right. And basically the same idea goes in again, right? We get below that low. And again, the key here is get below a prior swing. Get below a prior swing. That's where the buyers are waiting here in these situations because they want to buy into that high up there. Get that breakout going lower, the pullback going lower. And there's a couple ways to do this, right? One is that bear trap, one try, two try, squeeze stops, back up again, right? The other, of course, is that V bottom. It pops up, begins to grind going higher. These are tricky because you don't want to chase after it. That voice in your head is going to want to chase after it. We don't want to chase after it. Find those prior swings and get in under prior swings. That's the goal. And again, if we're lucky, it'll run up. We'll get that nice strong run going lower. We'll bank that nice easy profit with that bear trap back up again. And for whatever reason, we may see another leg going lower. And again, we'll grab the kind of the measured move, right? That leg, measured leg. And again, once we know how big that first leg is going lower, then we'll know where that measured move is. The bottom line though is anything between that low and that measured move area, this is the money zone right there, right? I love these trades. These are my favorite trades in our trade room, retest trades, because these work great because they make us nice and low. So we're buying nice and low. And again, when I was a rookie, if the 15-year-ago version of me saw that, I'd be shorting that thing, right? I'd be chasing after it. I would say, oh, it's a lower low, a lower high, blah, 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 blah. No, right? It's not a reversal. Look at the hourly chart right now. This is the money zone, right? That's the bear trap money zone right there. So somewhere between that low and that measured move, right? That's the money zone. And again, we're not going to use divergence or read tape. You guys probably know by now that stuff doesn't work consistently enough. Every once in a while, right? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Of course, a divergent signal will work every once in a while. Of course, reading tape or order flow will work every once in a while, but they don't work as well as running stops, because stops allow me now to basically buy right into where the stops are. And if you're caught short, right, you're going to buy your way out. Everyone's buying now into that retest trade. So a good variation of that off of that low, right? That retest we love so much, the trade room. All right, guys? So those are some variations now. And again, please be careful. It may run up and get crushed right back down again. I almost hope it happens, right? That would be a dream come true, because now all that move going lower, it'll trap those rookies in, bear trap, and back up. We could trade that rotation, trade that triangle, trade those pendulum swings. All right, I think you guys get the point here of this video. That's the game plan for tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow, guys, the place to be is in our trade room. Guys, the easiest way to start making money in these markets is to come out and learn and trade along every morning at the opening bell. As always, guys, I'll put all the important links you need to learn the entire strategy. I'll put everything you need to learn in the description of this video. Start first with the free video course. Enjoy all the trade examples I include in the free video classes. Then come out and join me in the trade room, and we'll do it together every morning at the opening bell. In the meantime, guys, hope you learned a bunch tonight. Hope you use this knowledge to earn a bunch tomorrow as well. Be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.